in on this bitch. Zoom in.
See how young.
Game, man. Zoom in. You know? Who the fuck said the C's ain't got no money? Who the fuck said all I do is kill people? Who said that? Who said that? Who said they ain't get no money?
Bro, this shit's long as hell.
This YN right here is a real life devil, gang. Dude did not play no games. He was out there lurking, ops shopping through the cut. He spot some ops kicking it in front of a store, didn't hesitate, emptied that Draco and dropped a whole triple homie right then and there. And he did them boys dirty. That footage is wild. If you know, you know. Smoking an op, then turning right around to go stomp on his grave. Caught his first hat at only 15 years old. His own homies say he got over 10 plus under his belt, and dude even beat 2 body cases. He was a grim reaper for the west side, no cap. Them out west dudes ain't nothing to play with. We talking about Pluto2x from GhostMobb, one of the most dangerous CVLs to ever step foot on the west side. Before we jump into it, smash that like button and keep rocking with me, gang. Y'all locked in with Hood Edition, and today we deep diving into the story of GhostMobb's top shooter, Pluto2x. Derek Burns, aka Pluto2x, also known as Mr. Wipe Your Nose or The Menace, was born July 23, 1997, right in the heart of Chicago's near west side. He came up in a regular crib, raised by his OG. Pops was never in the picture. Pluto didn't speak on him at all. It was just him, his 2 sisters, and a youngin' named Thule 2x. Blood or not, Pluto's moms treated Thule like her own and called him a son. Thule ran right behind Pluto like a little brother, 5 years younger, soaking up everything Pluto did in the streets. He had family all through the hood too. His cousin Spike Lee was an outstanding member for the mob. Dude loved to drive and was usually behind the wheel whenever GhostMobb went hunting through op territory. But being behind the wheel on those missions eventually caught up to Spike and cost him his life. Pluto grew up right in a set originally known as BMF, and today the streets know him as GhostMobb. That's where Pluto was learning how to move out west before his name ever started ringing bells across the Chi. Now, to really understand Pluto, you gotta understand the set that built him. Before the city ever knew them as GhostMobb, they went by BMF, Big Money Family, or Black Walton Family. After BMF, they started going by 49 Hunter, heavy conservative vice lords out west in Austin, holding down Iowa and Layman, Walton and Layman. Then the war started taking young lives. Back in June 2008, 16-year-old Gerald Perry got caught in the gangway off 900 North Layman and got hit in his head and chest. 2 years later, August 2010, 15-year-old Troy Brown Jr. was walking on 4900 West Iowa when a shooter stepped up and clapped him right there. That double loss birthed TNG, standing for Troy and Gerald. They turned the hood into Gerald City and Troy World in their honor. Fast forward to September 2017. A shorty named Terrence Johnson, aka Ghost or C-Stance from TNG, a beloved member who was super tight with Pluto, was found shot in his arm and neck over on 3800 West Flournoy, just 4 days after his 18th birthday. Word was Poppy Gang, a four-corner hustler set, clapped him over drug territory. Before that, it was just tension and minor dissing. But once Ghost dropped, it was strictly on sight. From that day on, TNG started going by GhostMobb in his honor. Their main blocks are Iowa and Lamont and Walton and Lamont. They into it with Team Mob / LT, MNA, Black Mob, Oskino Gang, Sane Gang, P Block, Wicked Town, Poppy Gang, Fifth City, WMG, B Gang, Hood Rich Young Money, and C4 Mob. But their main ops, BTBG, Baby T Blood Gang. On the other side, they clicked up with BBMG / Richway, Beam Team, and CCG, and they were stacked with hella steppers like Cody 2x, Thule 2 times, Zach, Kobe 2 times, Lonnie B, Spike, Bart, Rello, Quincy, LC Money, Davo, Lil Chris, LZ, Larry, Big Glow, and of course, Pluto 2 times. Pluto started stepping and jumped on the field real early. Like most shorties in the trenches, it started at school. Schoolyard scraps, neighborhood beefs passed down from the older heads, and doing general wild shorty stuff like snatching bikes. As a shorty, he was tight with Lil Chris, Spike Lee, and the twins, Zach and Cody from GhostMobb. Yeah, real life Zach and Cody, straight up named after the TV show. Them two were inseparable, top tier steppers for the mob with bodies to their names and real time served. Out west, the bag is heavy. Dudes make serious money without ever having to pick up a mic or drop a track. But Pluto wasn't just chasing money. It didn't take long before petty dirt turned into toting pipes, armed licks, shootouts, and real blood. By December 2012, Pluto was only 15 years old when he caught his first body case. He and a 16-year-old named William Davis were over at a crib on the 1000 block of North LeClaire in South Austin around 10:45 p.m. Word is they got into it with a 43-year-old named Antoine Baker over something as small as a cigarette. Things got violent quick. Pluto punched Antoine onto the couch. William jumped in, and they started beating him while he tried to shield his face. When Antoine hit the floor, Pluto picked up a heavy sound speaker and dropped it straight onto the man's head. They ran, but came right back 20 minutes later and got snatched up by 12. Antoine died shortly after at Mount Sinai. At first, Cook County hit him with aggravated battery, but when the medical examiner ruled it a homicide, saying the beating triggered a fatal asthma attack, they bumped the charges up to first-degree murder and tried him as adults. Pluto spent the next 3 years sitting in Cook County waiting on trial. When September 2015 hit, the defense put up a fight, showing that while the fight happened, Antoine had a lethal amount of heroin in his system and a long history of severe asthma attacks. None of the physical injuries from the fight were actually fatal. William Davis walked on all murder charges. Pluto, he got off the main murder charge and ended up convicted of involuntary manslaughter. Since he had already served nearly 3 years, he walked out of jail in late 2015 as an 18-year-old adult. That 2012 situation gave Pluto his first real street reputation. Now we jump into 2016. Pluto was fresh off that involuntary manslaughter stretch for Antoine Baker, stepping back out into a city that was about to completely explode. 2016 was one of the deadliest years in Chicago history. 762 homicides, over 4,000 shot. Out west was a complete war zone, and Pluto was right in the middle of it, ready to put in heavy work. Then the war hit close to home. TNG lost a big homie, Rashawn Gooden Jr., aka Big Glow, or Fat Sean. Big Glow was older than Pluto, Zach, and Cody. He was the one who taught them the ropes, back when Cody was just 14 serving for him. On February 16, 2016, around 9 a.m., Big Glow walked into a store on the 4900 block of West Division, Black Mob territory, to grab a drink. Inside, he locked eyes with an op named Ikey Mikey from Black Mob. Words were exchanged as Big Glow walked out. Ikey Mikey followed him to the doorway and let off 6 out the 45, dropping Big Glow face down right on the pavement. Before running off, Ikey Mikey robbed him and took his phone. What happened next was straight evil. Big Glow's mother heard about a shooting nearby and called her son's phone. 10 minutes later, Ikey Mikey texted her back from Big Glow's stolen phone. "The buddy you looking for is dead. Ha ha ha. One up on us."
I called his phone to get an answer. 10 minutes later, I got a text. They texted me back and said, "The buddy you looking for is dead. Ha ha ha. One up on us."
Oh my.
Yeah. So I knew at that point my baby was dead.
Oh my God.
Big Glow, was pronounced dead at Mount Sinai at just 22 years old. 12 actually saved Ike Mikey from the streets. They snatched him up 2 months later because he was out here dry snitching on himself over the phone and got caught trying to get rid of the hot pipe. He somehow ducked that first-degree body, got hit with voluntary manslaughter instead, and took a 15-year stretch. Back on the block, Big Glow's death hit Pluto and the shorties deep. That pain turned straight into pure rage. Pluto wasn't thinking about no court dates or laying low. He was out sliding back to back with GhostMobb steppers, thirsting for blood and looking to turn anybody moving in op territory to a pack. 2 days after Big Glow got dropped, Pluto allegedly caught his first official pipe body. His second hat overall if you count that Antoine Baker situation from 2012. Bright and early on February 18, 2016, around 8:30 a.m., 19-year-old Rashad Thrasher, aka Pretty 4 from Teen Mob /LT, was caught slipping on the 1000 block of North Laverne. He was slumped with shots to the head and torso, dropped right on the boundary line separating LT's allies, BG World, and 4900 territory. 12 never solved the case, but street word out west points straight to GhostMobb, with whispers real heavy that Pluto was behind that work. Pluto was 19 at the time, which might sound late for a West Side stepper, but you gotta remember, he spent 3 whole years sitting in Cook County while other shorties were outside learning to slide. Once he touched down in 2016, he was making up for lost time real fast. On July 17, 2016, Pluto scoring on a set called MOF off Laverne and Ferdinand. MOF are 4 CHS clicked up tight with Teen Mob, BG World, and Black Mob, the exact same set responsible for dropping Big Glow. Around 8:45 p.m., a 19-year-old named Lloyd Daniel, aka Trigger from MOF, was riding through the 4900 block of West Augusta, right on the boundary line between BG World and GhostMobb territory. Shots rang out, striking Trigger 3 times in the shoulder and side. He was rushed to Stroger Hospital, but passed away 4 hours later. Street word says Pluto was the one behind that drill, either pulling up side by side on a motion slide or catching him at the light and flipping his car. Trigger was a heavy breadwinner and a serious problem on the block. He posted up with MOF and NMBM, dropped music, got money, and was known for standing on business with his hands every week, gun or no gun. Just 1 hour before Trigger got dropped, 2 people were shot in an SUV right in MOF territory on North Laverne. Loso from Sand Gang took a shot to the head and died on the scene around 8:30 p.m. The streets believe GhostMobb hit the block first, dropping Loso, and when Trigger immediately slid back for blood that same hour, he ran straight into Pluto's barrel instead. Just 11 days after Trigger got dropped, on July 28, 2016, Pluto was super active. But he ended up catching an attempted murder charge after hopping out of a gangway on the 1800 block of South Hamlin and spanking a 17-year-old in the arm. The shorty survived, but 12 snatched Pluto up and threw him right back into Cook County, where he sat for nearly 2 years waiting on trial. While Pluto was stuck behind bars, he took a major hit when he lost one of his closest homies to the streets. On March 25, 2017, around 3 p.m., 14-year-old Laquan Allen, aka Sequan, was posting up near a playground on the 4900 block of West Hubbard. A whip pulled up, let off 3 shots out the window, and caught Sequan in the lower back. He was rushed to Mount Sinai, but didn't make it. Sequan was just a kid, a ball player for McNair Elementary who loved his family, but the streets already had their hooks in him. He'd survived a gunshot back in 2013 when he was just 9 years old, had a stolen car on his record, and street word says he was out on Hubbard that afternoon trapping on the block. The older heads took Sequan under their wing, and Pluto treated him like a little brother. Word on the street is Stupid Dre and Sosa Curry from Teen Mob LT were the ones behind that hit. Sosa Curry even posted the news article of Sequan's death on his Facebook. Hearing about Sequan's death from a jail cell tore Pluto up inside. He was watching his block bleed, just waiting for his day in court so he could get back out to the field. The minute he touched back down in 2018, he changed his Facebook name to Sequan Kappa to hold his name down forever. Zach from GhostMobb said it best later on. If Ghost and Sequan were still here, they would be a big problem. On April 2nd, 2017, exactly 7 days after Sequan got dropped, 23-year-old Pierre Minor, aka Sosa Curry from Teen Mob LT, was caught slipping in ops territory. He was sitting in a parked whip on the 5200 block of West Chicago when two shooters crept up on foot, letting off shots straight to his head and chest. He was rushed to Stroger Hospital, but passed away from massive internal bleeding less than an hour later. Sosa was one of Teen Mob's top steppers, and internet rumors tried pinning his body on Pluto 2 times, but that's completely false. Pluto was still sitting behind bars in Cook County when that hit went down, something he made clear himself on his track Opac. Sosa checked out, he got hit in his taco. Asked me what happened, how would I know? I was locked up at the time, that's what I know. Word on the street is the hit squad that night was a deadly trio of GhostMobb steppers, Zach, Cody, and Quincy, Sid, with two shooters hopping out while one held down the getaway wheel. When Pluto finally beat his attempt case and touched down in mid-2018, he made up for lost time by disrespecting Sosa's name every chance he got. On his track Hit a Lick, Pluto rapped, "Op Nem lost a lot of homies, Sosa put us up a nick," bragging that Sosa's death put GhostMobb up by 5 bodies over Teen Mob LT. On 4900 Hooligans, he dropped, "Sosa was thinking he crazy, but they put him to sleep. He ain't waking back up." From stomping on his grave on camera to posting photos laughing at his memory, Pluto, Zach, and Cody turned Sosa into their most mocked op on the entire West Side.
Fuck Sosa.
On November 24th, 2018, 21-year-old Lil Mook, aka Chief Young Heavy from Teen Mob LT, was caught slipping right in his own hood. He was walking with a homie on the 1000 block of North Leamington when a whip pulled up out of nowhere. A stepper hopped out, opening fire and catching Lil Mook straight in the head while spanking his friend twice in the leg. His homie managed to run for his life, but Lil Mook wasn't as fortunate. He was rushed to Loyola University Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead 2 hours later. Street word points straight to Pluto 2 times as the shooter behind that drill. On December 30th, 2018, around 4:40 p.m., Pluto was out lurking when he caught an op slipping. 15-year-old Yuan Drape, aka Too Hot from HRYM, was posting up on the 5500 block of West Monroe. A green SUV crept up the street, and somebody inside opened up on the shorty, catching him in the chest and shoulder. He was rushed to Stroger Hospital, but passed away shortly after. 12 never pinned the case on anybody, but Pluto couldn't resist self-snitching on social media. When an op tried to roast Pluto on Instagram for wearing tight jeans, Pluto went straight to the comments and dropped, "Too Hot pants was tight too. That's why when I chased him down, he fell." By early 2019, Pluto struck again. He was sliding practically every day, putting major pressure on every block at war with GhostMobb. On March 28, 2019, 25-year-old Eric Bowman, aka Scooby from BG World/C4 Mob, walked out of a corner store on the 1000 block of North Lawler and hopped into the passenger side of a whip. Minutes later, a silver sedan crept up from behind and opened up on the whip. Scooby took direct hits to the chest and arm, passing away shortly after arriving at Mount Sinai Hospital. 12 never cuffed Pluto for it while he was still breathing. But later on, CPD officially closed the case and listed Pluto 2 times as the offender, confirming street word that he was the one behind that work. The crazy part about this hit was the personal history. Pluto and Scooby actually knew each other and were cool before the war blew up. Just one day after Scooby died, Pluto went on Facebook and dropped a wild message. On some for real shit, I would never actually thought you would pass away so soon. The only thing that makes this so bad is your baby not having a father. You didn't deserve this for real. You had potential to leave these streets. Lost your life over something that 9 times out of 10 could have been avoided. By this point, 12 was desperate to pull Pluto off the field. On April 3rd, 2019, just 5 days after Scooby got dropped, CPD locked Pluto up for first-degree murder in connection to the Little Mook drill. But Cook County couldn't make the charges stick due to lack of evidence, and Pluto walked right back out the door. 2 weeks later, they booked him again on 10 separate charges, from high-speed fleeing to narcotics. And once again, Pluto bonded right out and was right back on the block. Between April and July 2019, Pluto took a string of losses that broke him. In just 90 days, 8 of his homies got dropped, 4 of them right out of his inner circle. On top of all that, he lost his own child. The pain turned him completely numb. He posted on the net admitting he was losing his sanity, his heart burnt out with only one thing keeping him going: straight blood for blood. On the 4th of July 2019, around 11:30 a.m., Pluto2x was out on a hot slide with Cody 2x, Quincy, and Zach. They were rolling 2 whips deep near Iowa and Homan, right on the edge of Oskino gang territory. They spotted a group of ops posted up outside, rolling dice on the block. 3 steppers hopped out the whips and opened up straight into the crowd, dropping 4 people on the pavement while the rest were running for their life. 3 survived with leg and body shots, but 32-year-old Pierre Tima, aka Pistol P from BTBG, took direct lethal hits and didn't make it. Right after the drill, 12 peeped their white getaway sedan and tried to box it in, but the hit squad managed to lose him. Later that afternoon, Cody was caught on camera, rag in hand, pouring lighter fluid on the whip and torching it to burn the evidence. 10 minutes later, Quincy pulled up with a gas can to finish burning the Hyundai Equus to the ground. Cody got cuffed 4 days later and even admitted to the arson on a jail call, saying, "They caught me on the arson. There's no denying it's me in the video." 12 eventually tried to slap Cody and Quincy with first-degree murder and 3 counts of attempted murder after a witness pointed Cody out. But Cook County couldn't make the murder charges stick. Cody beat the body, but the arson charge stayed on his record. And street word out west confirmed Pluto was right there in that drill when Pistol P from BTBG got dropped. On September 18th, 2019, around 2:50 p.m., Pluto allegedly did one of the most brutal drills the West Side had ever seen. 4 members from B-Gang were posting up right outside the Quick Food Mart on the 4200 block of West Madison. Pluto and his driver pulled up in a stolen white healthy sedan, stopping just 10 feet away. Word on the street is Pluto walked up acting cool, asking if they were selling loose cigarettes just to catch him off guard. Before anybody could react, all hell broke loose. They started letting off shots right into the crew. Over 40 shell casings rained down on the parking lot as bullets tore through the crowd. When the smoke cleared, 3 shorties were left laying in pools of blood. 19-year-old Charles Boston, 22-year-old Tion Lewis, and 23-year-old Quashawn Knowlton. All 3 were rushed to Mount Sinai but didn't make it. A 4th man was left fighting for his life in critical condition. The aftermath video posted online sent shockwaves through the trenches. That broad daylight drill made the block so hot, 12 had nearby schools put on total lockdown. 12 later recovered the abandoned Hyundai and ran it for prints and DNA, but the state never pressed charges. And just like that, 3 more alleged hats were added to Pluto's score. In the trenches, the bill always comes due, and when you got a reputation as loud as Pluto's, your name sits right at the top of the hit list. On September 28, 2019, around 4 p.m., Pluto's clock finally ran out. He was sitting in traffic with a female on the 700 block of North Cicero, stopped right at a red light. Out of nowhere, another white whip pulled up alongside him. A shooter hopped out the passenger side, walked straight up to Pluto's window, and let off shots straight through the glass before Pluto could even reach for his pipe. Pluto took lethal hits to the head and chest, while the girl in the passenger seat took a bullet to the torso. Even after taking head taps, they managed to drive themselves straight to West Suburban Medical Center in Oak Park. The woman pulled through, but 22-year-old Derek Burns, aka Pluto2x, was pronounced DOA. Just like that, GhostMobb's most feared stepper got caught slipping in broad daylight traffic, leaving the West Side forever changed. You locked in with Hood Edition. We out.